Hey, Austin homeowners. Today we're going to go over the latest market data from September 2025 for Austin real estate market. The data shows some surprising trends. So if you're looking or considering the selling or buying or upgrading or downsizing, you do not want to miss today's video. I'm going to dive into details about each individual city, but the overall market as well, and what I'm seeing as a real estate agent here helping buyers and sellers here in the Austin area. But before we get started, I got exciting news to announce. I just added a new tool for my clients that you can get absolutely for free using the link down below. Is a market digest video or market digest tool that gives you a monthly report on how much your home is worth and what is it like if you were to refinance. You can show information like how much you paid towards your principal, towards your interest. If you were to refinance, what that number looks like. It will also tells you if you want to buy a new home by selling you this one, how much of a home you can afford, and if you want to rent or buy investment property or just straight up selling it, how much cash you can get. So it's a very, very useful report. Oh, another section that I want to talk to you about is going to be right here. Short-term rental. It gives you information about how much money you can make per night if you were if you're Airbnb in and out, and then if you were to do, let's say, 4 nights or 3 nights, 4 nights a month, you can make about $4,000 per year. So it's actually pretty comprehensive in terms of what is provided. So if you want to sign up for this report absolutely for free using the link down below. And now let's get back to the market update. So surprising trend that we're seeing here in Austin is that we are looking at a stabilized marketplace at $444,000. Don't like this color. Let me see if there's a better color. Okay. $444,000 in terms of medium sales price, up 1.3%. We are looking at 2,500 homes sold, but active market listing is still 14,000, up 13% from the year prior, right? So that means that there is a pretty big discrepancy in terms of buyer demand and seller supply. By buyer demand, I don't mean they don't want to buy. They want to buy. Believe me, it's because the mortgage rate is having one of the biggest issues or some of the biggest issues. So that's why when people are buying, they're really considering, can I afford it right now? It's going to be an ongoing trend, even with the rate cut cycle that's starting right now. The rate cut is going to be expected about subtract minus 0.5% to 0.75% more. That doesn't really move the needles as much, but it will bring about $30,000 to $50,000 in affordabilities to the home buyers if they are feeling ready. So I personally think that even with the rate cut cycle, unless we cut more than expected, it won't shift the market dynamic as much here in Austin because we do have 14,000 homes on the market compared to 2,500 buyer demand. We might see this number tick up to about 3,000 per month. That's what I'm expecting. Just a little bit more demand from the monthly sales, but still, it's going to be pretty much a buyer's market. Okay, months of inventory, 5.9 months. Relatively speaking, it's a healthy market, but compared to the Austin trend, this is a pretty high number. So we're seeing homes sitting on the market a little bit longer at 68 days, which is 2 months, a little bit over 2 months. Is up 7 days from the year prior. Average close to list price 92.3%. You can see that affordability is an issue. So when buyer making an offer, they are offering a little bit lower than the list price. So if you list your home for $1 million, the buyer usually close at the end $923,000. So that's something to consider as well. We saw 3,600 new homes came onto the market. Okay, so that's pretty strange. Even in this market, people are looking to sell. Okay, all right. Now let's get down to the city-specific data. City of Austin, pretty healthy number, $550,000 median sales price for the month of September or August from month of August with the September data. And then we're looking at 797 closed sales, up 10% from the year prior. So we are seeing this counter trend. The year prior, we're looking at people moving away from the city of Austin into Williamson County, into Hayes County, into the suburbia of Austin area. But now that trend has shifted. People want to live in city. People want to live in downtown Austin, uptown Austin, or midtown Austin. So we will see that trend going back towards Austin. And I personally think that this is going to continue moving forward. $573 million sales dollar volume, up 6.2% or 6.2 months of inventory. We are seeing a little bit higher than the Austin average. And this is the highest listing I've seen in the city of Austin, 4,294 active listings. But then you can see that reflected in the average close to list price, 91.8% compared to its list price. So we are seeing some buyer demand, but people are negotiating pretty hard from the buyer side in the Austin area. Next one, Bastrop. Bastrop actually stuck around quite a bit in terms of its housing prices, home prices for the past half a year or so. But today we are seeing that data finally start to trend down. We're looking at 287,000 medium sales price, down 8.2% from the year prior. We're seeing only 14 homes close in the month of August from this latest September data, down 56%. And it makes sense. 6.1 months of inventory, new listing 99, 99 active listing, new listing 30, new listing, but closed sales only 14. You can see this differences, right? So that means that higher months of inventory, 65 days on the market, and the average close to list price is dipped below 90% at 88.7%, which is not looking so hot for Bastrop. So if you're looking to sell Bastrop, you really need to price your home well and need to promote it well, which reminds me, if you're looking for a real estate agent to list your home for sale, you can reach out to me using the number down below. I create creative video tours, home tour videos like this, and I run social media ads that gives you the most exposure to the right people. So you know you're spending the time to get the right exposure to the right people. So you can reach out to me where I can walk you through my process of selling and getting your home listed for sale that no other real estate agents will do this for you, by the way. Okay. Next one, we're looking at, back to it, Cedar Park. Cedar Park has always been a hot area for Austin, but we also seeing a price dip in this area. 14.9% price dip from the year prior at four, and then medium sales price of the home, 418,000. We do have 60 closed sales, but then we have 247 active listing and with 101 new listings coming onto the market. So that is a pretty big gap in terms of seller demand or seller supply and buyer demand. But you can see the average days on the market for Cedar Park is 51 days because when buyers come out to buy, a lot of my clients as well, they want to buy in the good area because they know real estate is a location game. They want to buy in area with good schools. They want to buy in areas with convenient access to HEBs, to Costco's, to all the technology companies where they just have a less of a commute time. And Cedar Park is the best area for a lot of my clientele where they work in tech companies. They want to buy in this area. Average close to list price 94.5%. So you are seeing this is a much higher close to list price compared to other areas, right? Compared to Bastrop, where it's 88%, this one's 94%. So that's why you can see Cedar Park is still a pretty in-demand area despite of a slowdown in buyer demand market. And this reminds me, we're heading into the slower season of the housing market here in Austin. Usually from October to February is going to be considered the lowest demand time period of Austin area. So if you're looking to sell, I don't recommend listing your home to sell in this year, but if you have to, you really want to market your home correctly and price it accordingly. And I can help walk you through that. But if you're looking to sell next year, right now is a really good time to start getting your home ready, to start getting your finances, getting your paperwork ready to list it for the hot spring season that can potentially come because there's lower mortgage rate that might cause a higher demand in mortgage demand, right? So that's exciting news. So get ready for that. And now let's get back to the Dripping Spring area. Dripping Spring area, this data, by the way, it gathers from all the Southwest Austin area. So I think this is going to be a lot more than just the Dripping Spring area. But still, you can see medium sales price 562,000, down 4% from the year prior. Closed sales 263, very healthy demand right here. We're looking at 4.9 months of inventory. We're seeing pretty good number here. And then 60 days on the market. I personally think that this is just a little bit under average here in Austin metro area. Closed list price 92.6%. So Dripping Spring looks to be a pretty healthy market. So if you're looking to sell in this area, you can probably get a pretty good price and a reasonable sell time, reasonable time on the market for this area, as long as you price your home right and you market it correctly, get promoted correctly on social media, on the right platforms out there. Okay. Next one, Georgetown. Georgetown, if you remember, Georgetown is one of the hottest areas from 2 to 3 years prior. We're looking at $416,000 in medium sales price, up 2.2% from the year prior. 122 sales, just like the year prior. No change, which is surprising. Months of inventory, 5 months of inventory, we're looking at the 95.4% close to list price. So we are seeing, I think Georgetown's hitting towards that equilibrium in terms of buyer demand and seller supply. Average days on the market, 55 days, is a little bit lower, lower compared to Austin metropolitan average. So this is a pretty healthy data from Georgetown. I'm happy to see that. Huddle, we're looking at 338,000 medium sales price. We're looking at closed sales 51, closed sales up 27% from the year prior. So Huddle are seeing some price correction. I still remember Huddle, they were hovering at 430,000 in medium sales price, but now we're down to 338,000. So happy to see the number is becoming a lot healthier, more reasonable. Months of inventory, 4.3 months, and then we're looking at average close to the list price, 94% or so, 93.8. We're looking at 53 days on the market, which is a pretty reasonable number. So I think Huddle is in a healthy state in terms of where it needs to be for the housing prices. Jonestown, I wouldn't take this data too seriously because we only get 9 closed sales, but you are seeing the 1.1 million medium sales price, which is up 137% from the year prior. Okay, we're looking at 14.8 months. You can see this number doesn't really make a lot of sense, but Jonestown is a pretty remote area, pretty underappreciated from my perspective. It is right next to Cedar Park, right next to Leander, into the beginning of the hill country, into the Lake Travis area, right? We're looking at 14 new listings and 79 active listings, 86.4% in terms of as close to list price, and then you're up sitting on the market for a pretty high amount of days, at 118 days or so. So that's almost twice as much as the average here in Austin. So Jonestown, you would really want to market it correctly. Pricing, I think that pricing can definitely be more reasonable considering the market is reflecting that, right? 86.4%, meaning that there is a pretty big discrepancy between what the seller wants and what the buyer is paying. Okay. Next one, Lago Vista. Great area, 34 homes sold in the month of August when the latest market data is from September. We're looking at 295 active listings, so the months of inventory is going to be high. It's going to be 11.7 months. So that 88.2% in terms of average close to list price, days on the market, 154 days on the market. So if you're looking to sell in Lago Vista, it's going to sit on the market for a little bit longer. The median sales price, $115,000, only reflects the homes that are sold for the month of August, right? It doesn't mean the median price of that area is this, but it just shows you how much the median price is for the month of the homes that's sold in the month of August. Okay, Lakeway, we're looking at premium area, premium prices, $833,000, up 8.8% from the month prior. 46 closed sales at. This is up 40%, almost 40% from the year prior. We're seeing some more demand in that area, I think, because the more affluent buyers, more affluent clienteles of mine are actually starting to look in this area as well, because they are the ones less impacted by the job market. They're the ones that are seeing the most benefit from the rate drop, because if you're doing like $800,000 in mortgages and then even the rate drops by just 0.5%, you're saving sometimes maybe even like 6 figures in the interest alone. So that's definitely helping the more affluent buyers a lot more with this lower mortgage rate. And because they want to probably hold the most assets as well, they can see not real estate, but the stock market actually gone up quite a bit for the past few years. Past few months, because of this rate cut cycle. It always benefits the one that has more assets in hand, right? When there's a rate cut cycle. So 6.8 months of inventory and pending sales 36, 74 days on the market, a little bit higher, but still a pretty healthy number. 90.9% average close list price. So that's definitely something to consider when making an offer or listing your home for sale in Lakeway area. Leander is looking pretty healthy, $454,000 in medium sales price, down 4.7%, which is within fluctuation. And then closed sales up 16% from the year prior, It is 58 closed sales. We're looking at 321 active listings with 89 new listings came onto the market, and we're looking at 69 days on the market, so about 2 to 3 months. 2 months or so in terms of days on the market. But when we head into the slower season of Austin, Austin housing market, I personally expect that this number will go higher, as will trend higher throughout the second half of the year or the rest of the year. And average close to list price 93%, so looking not bad at all. Liberty Hill is a pretty decent area. Looks like we have 77 closed sales, down 10% from the year prior. We're looking at 487 active listings and 6.4 months of inventory. So not terribly high in terms of months of inventory. We're looking at 88 days on the market. This is a bit higher compared to almost 3 months compared to the Austin average at 60 something days, right? And then we're looking at median sales price 570,000, up 7% from the year prior. Average close list price 91.7%. Pretty healthy, but I expect slowdown in this area as well. Manor. We're looking at $361,000 medium sales price and 22 closed sales, up 10% from the year prior, up 2.7% from the year prior. We're looking at 4.9 months of inventory. This number trended down a little bit from the month prior, so I'm happy to see that. Looking at 84 days on the market, and we're looking at 89.1% in average close to list price. So pending sales 16, and then we have 122 active listings. So Manor is stabilizing as well. I'm happy to see that the price is not dropping as much, and we're seeing a lower months of inventory. So I think Manor is gonna. I know a lot of people are developing Manor, East Manor area in particular, but that's going to take some time before the supply picks up. Pflugerville, another healthy area. Pflugerville is a great area. You can see medium sales price, 405,000. Closed sales, 72 closed sales. Months of inventory, 4.9%. Active listing, 270. Average days on market, 64. Close to list price, 94.9%. So we are seeing pretty healthy numbers from Pflugerville. I personally see a lot of my clients looking to buy in Pflugerville, moving to Pflugerville because they work at the Tech Ridge area, they work at Dell, they work along Palmer Lane. So it's definitely a great commute time, reasonable prices at $405,000, right? So, and then the homes here are a lot newer compared to Cedar Park. At least you have more options to buy new construction homes compared to Cedar Park. So this is definitely, I think, an area that I will focus on for the next few years or so because of the supply from the new construction home area, but also just its convenience compared to rest of the other suburbs of Austin. Okay. Round Rock, still a high demand area, 412,000 medium sales price, 139 closed sales. We are looking at 4.7 months of inventory, and the active listing is 476. So this is a pretty healthy number. This is surprising to me because 4.7 months is lower than the Austin average for now. 50 days on the market. So Round Rock, Cedar Park, high demand area. And then 93.9% average close to list price. So very, very healthy. If you're looking to sell in Round Rock, now is a pretty good opportunity compared to the rest of the Austin area, right? All right, Westlake Hills. Let's see how the rich people survive. The medium sales price is 1.375 million in the Westlake area. We're looking at 4 closed sales in the month of August, and this is 8.5 million in sales dollar volume. We're looking at almost 7 months of inventory, which is surprisingly healthy, lower than I expected. But as I mentioned before, the lower rates, the higher stock market, all of those things are helping the more affluent buyers, more affluent clients of mine out there, because those things impact their assets, their income the most, right? Because the higher mortgage amount, the lower the interest rate, the lower interest you pay, the more money, absolute amount of money that you're saving. So definitely something to consider. They're more stabilized as well. But the average close list price, 84%. So you are seeing that discrepancy between what the seller wants and what the buyer is putting up in their offer eventually close. So definitely something to consider when you're listing your home to sell here in Westlake. And thank you for watching. If you are interested in getting the report, you can use the link down below. It gives you the latest and the home value estimate every single month. It doesn't spam you. So it's very, very useful from my perspective. So if you have any question, reach out to me using the number down below. If you're looking to get your home listed for sale and want to understand my process, you can set up an appointment with me and I'll walk you through what I do for my clients every single day. All right.